Good morning. It's good to see you guys. I have been reading stories for the littles, so today I thought I would read a story for the bigs. And I'm not real sure if I've read this one to you before, and if I have, I apologize. I'm going to go back through all the ones that we've read and take the books off the shelf so I don't read them to you again. But if I did, I hope that you still enjoy the story and that you guys are all having a great day. It's kind of cold up here and it's going to rain today, which is kind of strange for January in the UP. Usually we have lots and lots of snow that comes down, and we've had a lot, but now it's been warm. So anyway, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read a story called The Magic Rocket by Stephen Crowell. Here's the front cover. Okay? I love you guys. It's good to see you. Felix loved rockets. He had big rockets and little rockets. He had plastic rockets and metal rockets. He had noisy rockets and silent rockets. And I know my guys have had rockets. Look at all those different rockets that he has. Well, it's pretty amazing. Every day, Felix and his dog Atom went to a big store called Space Toys. For weeks, Felix had been admiring the rocket in the window. It was different from other rockets. It was long and thin and gold. It had 3 booster rocket engines and a shiny cockpit. Whenever Felix looked at it, it seemed to glow mysteriously. There he goes. He's on the way to the store. Do you see the gold rocket? On Felix's birthday, his dad came home with a big box tied up with ribbon. "Happy birthday," Felix said, "Daddy." Felix tore away the paper. He reached inside and pulled out the gold rocket. "Oh, wow," he said. "It's just what I wanted." That night, after finishing his ice cream and birthday cake, Felix went upstairs to his room, put on his pajamas, and played with his new rocket for a long, long time. Then he climbed into bed and went sound asleep. There he is, opening up his rocket. After a few hours, a beeping noise woke Felix. He sat up in bed. The noise was coming from outside. Felix rushed to the window. A silvery red flying saucer was landing in the backyard next to Adam's doghouse. The beeping noise stopped. A weird-looking creature climbed to the ground. Adam rushed out of his doghouse, barking and snarling. Felix rubbed his eyes. Was he dreaming, or was he really seeing a creature from outer space? As he was wondering what to do, the creature grabbed Adam, climbed back into the flying saucer, and took off. "Adam!" cried Felix. Just then a humming noise began to fill the room. It was coming from the new rocket. The rocket began to glow. It glowed brighter and brighter. As it glowed, it began to grow. Quickly, Felix took it off the shelf, but in his hands it kept on growing. Soon it was longer than his arm. "I better take this outside," Felix said, and he hurried into some clothes. By the time he got the rocket downstairs and into the yard, it was almost as tall as he was. Look at, there's the alien grabbing Adam. There's Felix with his rocket that's growing. He stood on end in the grass, and in a few minutes it was higher than the house. Suddenly the humming noise stopped. The rocket stopped growing. The cockpit bubble top sprang open, and a golden ladder unfolded all the way to the ground. A voice came from inside. "You must climb up to the cockpit. Don't worry, you'll be safe." The rocket flashed on and off as Felix grabbed a rung of the ladder and began to climb. He stepped into the cockpit. He saw a computer with an enormous screen. The voice said, "Alien Thorion has stolen Adam. He is taking him to his planet, Alcazar. You must rescue your dog. Please hurry." "Wow," said Felix. "I'm going to save Adam." He slid into the captain's seat. He closed the cockpit and pressed a button on the computer that said, "Power." The rocket's 3 booster engines fired with a great whoosh, and he was off. Anybody notice he didn't fasten his seatbelt or anything like that? I would think that would kind of be a necessity. Felix guided his craft higher, and a map of the sky appeared on the screen, and it showed Felix zooming closer to the flying saucer. A small light blinked on the computer. A message flashed on the screen. Line up rocket to face dog in saucer. Push red button on the right. Splatterizer ray will zap dog back to the rocket. You see the dog? He's looking out the window. Save me! I wonder what a splatterizer does. That sounds like a cool thing. As Felix was about to get into position and push the red button, the saucer swerved around. It started heading right towards him. On the screen, Felix could see Thorion getting ready to shoot him with a laser gun. Just in time, Felix nosed downward and the laser beam missed. Felix began turning the rocket around. Thorion fired again. This time the beam hit the rocket in the tail. Uh-oh. Now what? The rocket sputtered and stalled and began to fall. But before it could fall too far, Felix pressed a button marked Repairs. On the screen, a picture showed the damaged rocket engine repairing itself automatically. How cool is that? Isn't that cool? That is super cool. I'd like things that would repair themselves automatically. I bet your mamas would too. By now, the flying saucer was far ahead, and Felix flipped a switch marked Extra Power. The rocket shuddered and lurched forward. In seconds, Felix caught up with Thorion. This time, he was able to line himself up with the saucer and push the red button. Suddenly, Atom appeared in his lap. He got his puppy back. Didn't he? I want one of those too. Felix couldn't believe it. Atom, it's you, he said. He hugged him and Atom licked his face all over. The light was blinking on the computer screen again. Another message flashed across the screen. Push green button. Zap Thorion back to Alcazar. As Felix pressed the green button, there was a flash and the flying saucer disappeared to Alcazar. Congratulations, said the computer voice. Now it's time to go home. Felix patted Atom on the head and started back to Earth. The rocket passed Saturn and Jupiter and Mars. And when Felix looked out of the cockpit, he saw his backyard. There was a circle of light on the grass. Bet you that's him landing, don't you think? What an adventure. How cool is that? Felix pressed the button marked land and the rocket glided down onto the circle. When Felix and Atom climbed down the ladder, the rocket shrank back to its original size. Felix carried the rocket upstairs and returned it to the shelf. He shook his head and sighed. Oh, you are some rocket. Then he climbed into bed and let Atom curl up beside him. And as he was about to go to sleep, the rocket flashed on and off one last time. Good night, Rocket, said Felix. Good night, Felix, said the voice from the computer. Felix smiled, put his arm around Atom, and went back to sleep. The end. Wow, what an adventure. Wouldn't it be cool? You know, they are doing still space exploration, and when you kids grow up, it might be as simple as climbing into a rocket and going to another planet. They've done the moon a couple of times, so it isn't impossible. But the coolest thing about space to me is that that's where God lives and that he cares about every little thing that happens in our life. Everything that happens to you today, God cares about, and he loves you. And Nan and Papa love you too. Have a great day.